Welcome everyone. Myself Vaidya Sunil Rapolu, the Assistant Professor, Department of Kriyasare, Government Akhandanand Ayurved College, Ahmedabad. Today I am going to deliver my video talk on ascending tract. It is one type of the sensory pathway. So let's start our video class. So first of all, we see the basic concept of the tract or what is the tract mean to be. So normally the tracts which are present within the central nervous system. So they are nothing but the bundle or band or collection or group of the axon fibers which moving upward and moving downward within the central nervous system, having a specific origin and having a specific or common termination within the CNS, and they connect the two masses of the gray matter nuclei. So it is about the basic definition of the tract. So tracts are nothing but they are the pathways or passages within the central nervous system. So they convey the sensory information from the lower area of the CNS to the higher area, and also they carry the motor impulse and command impulse from the higher center to the lower center, and which has a specific origin and they have a specific termination, and they name it only after connection or connecting the two gray matter masses of the nuclei. So it is about this. So normally, so the tracts are present within the white matter, and basically they are originated from the nuclei, and nuclei is nothing but is a gray matter, and which are they also, and eventually they terminated in the nuclei or also in the nuclei which are present in the either higher center or lower center, and they also present in the gray matter. It means that, so what is origin and insertion? So they are the gray matter, but the fiber which are emerged from this origination nuclei and the fiber which are emerged from the termination fiber. So that in between that, whatever the pathways or channels or routes are there, that axon fibers basically structurally named as a tract. For example, lateral spinothalamic tract. So lateral spinothalamic tract is the tract which is the ascending tract or sensory tract, which convey the sensory information from the lower center to the higher center. So this means that basically it is originated from the nuclei which are present in the dorsal horn. So in the dorsal horn we are discussing that there specific nuclei are present, and each nuclei are responsible or signify for the exhibiting the or conveying the specific function. So lateral spinothalamic tract, which is responsible for the convey the pain and temperature related sensation, and the nuclei for this sensation is it is extremely noted by the substantia gelatina rolandi nuclei, so which is present in the dorsal horn. So the fiber which are emerged from the substantia gelatina rolandi, they are originated nuclei. From that, whatever the fiber which is originated, so that fiber eventually either cross the opposite direction or either they ascend in the same segment and ascend upward, and then after they terminated the nuclei which is present in the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. So in between the course of the origin and termination, so they take the origin from the nuclei and then they eventually end in the nucleus, and in between that that nuclei, whatever the pathways or channels are there, so they are called as a ascending track. In the same way, so in the descending, in the descending track, so which is originated from the upper motor neuron, they either present in the cerebral cortex or any part of the brain, and they terminated in the lower motor neuron, so that is either alpha motor and gamma motor neuron. So whatever that its origination, normally the axon fiber which are emerged from the upper motor neuron, so that is the gray matter nuclei, and then after they eventually end in the spinal cord segment, the anterior horn. So there are the alpha and gamma, either they terminated in the alpha motor neuron and gamma motor neuron. So in between these, whatever these pathways or channels are there, they are descending tracks. So basically, what is the significance of the track? So tracks are nothing but they are the channels and pathways present within the CNS. So they name it only after the connection of the two gray matter nuclei. One is the originate from one they originated, and from the eventually the nuclei where it is terminated. So they, on the basis of this nuclei on their specific function, they name it as specific tracks. So it means that they have a specific origin and they have a specific termination, and they name it only after connecting the two masses of the gray matter, and they present within the CNS. So now we discuss about the basic function of the CNS, so that can give the clear concept of this tract. So what is the function of the CNS? CNS function is it receives the sensory information, and the sensory informations are recognized or governed and detected by the specific receptor. So there are different specific receptors are there. They respond to the different sensation. So whenever they are stimulated, so that receptor convert the stimulus into the action potential, and that action potential are carried or conveyed by the efferent fiber, and these efferent fibers are convey this sensory information into the spinal cord directly, or some fibers are they convey the information directly into the brain. So whatever this, so in the spinal cord, so they enter into the spinal cord through the dorsal. So the root that is called as a dorsal root. So dorsal root, that is a sensory root. So from that, so they enter into the spinal cord, and then after by synapsing or connecting the specific nuclei in this spinal cord, they ascend upward, and then after they terminated into their terminated nuclei, then after they projected into the center. So that center may be present either in the spinal cord level or either in the brain level. So then after, so that specific decisions or command are processed or integrated, and whatever the information that is made that has been conveyed or carried by the fibers which are emerged from that center, that is the motor fibers, and then eventually that motor fibers are in the lower motor neuron, and they exit from the spinal cord through the root that is called as the motor root. And from that motor root, so what are the fibers are there, they eventually innervate their target organ. They may be the muscles, or they may be the endocrine glands, or they may be the visceral organ, and then after they produce or exhibit the needed function in that target organ. So this is the basic function of the CNS. So in between that, so what are the fibers are there, so that there is afferent or efferent fibers, or whatever the spinal nerves and whatever the tracts within the CNS, so they act as a mediator. So they act mediator in between the receptor and in the center. So basically receptor receive the information, and that convey that information to the center via the fibers. So the fibers, the axon fiber outside the CNS, they name it as a peripheral, and that fibers within the CNS in the white matter, so they are termed as a tract. So that tract conveys the information to the proper center. In that center, proper information is proceed or integrated and needed in motor impulse has been produced, and that informations are carried by the fibers or axon fiber, which is emerged from the upper motor neuron, and eventually they terminated in the lower motor neuron. And then after, what are the fibers which is emerged from the lower motor neuron, that either alpha and gamma motor neuron, they exit the spinal cord through the motor route, and then after eventually they innervate the target neuron. So this is the basic concept of the tract. So tract or the mediator in between the receptors and in the center, and this the axon fiber within the CNS, which are present within the white matter and which are originated from the gray matter nuclei and terminated in the gray matter nuclei. So they are named as a tract, and outside the CNS, these axon fibers are recognized as a periphery spinal nerve or periphery cranial nerves. So it is about the basic concept of the tract. So normally, what are the axon fibers are there in the CNS? So they are projected in the different way and different direction. So some fibers which are taking the information from the higher lower center to the higher center, or and some fiber which are convey from the higher center to lower center, that more specific motor impulse. So the way of the conveying the motor and sensory information, there are specific arrangement of the fibers are presented in the CNS. So some fibers are presented and projected vertically, so that vertically fibers or tracks are named as ascending or descending tract, or sensory tract or motor tract, and some fibers are arranged or present transversely. It means that right to left. So that specific fibers are named as a commissural fibers, and some fibers which are arranged or which are connecting the nuclei which are in the anterior posterior way. So that anterior posterior nuclei or fibers which are called as association fibers. So we will discuss ascending and descending fibers, and as well what is the structures of the commissural fibers and what is the basic concepts of the association fibers. So first, the commissural fiber. So commissural fibers are the fibers which are connecting the two nuclei in transverse way or right to left part. So that commissural fibers are the corpus callosum, and the anterior commissural fibers and posterior commissural fiber. So here this corpus callosum is the largest commissural fiber. So it is the broad band of the commissural fibers which is connecting the two cerebral hemisphere, right and left cerebral hemisphere. It is connected by the approximately 240 to 300 million of the axon fiber. So that is called as a commissural fiber, that is the corpus callosum. Next is anterior commissure. So these are the axon fiber which is connecting the nuclei which are present from the right temporal lobe to the left temporal lobe. So they are called the anterior commissural fiber. And the posterior commissural fibers, so they are connecting pretectal nuclei, so which are present just above the cerebral ectodermis. So it is the corpus callosum, and it is anterior commissure, and it is the posterior commissure. So these are the commissural fibers. Next is association fiber. So association fibers are nothing but this is the specific fibers which are projected or which are present or which are arranged from the anterior to posterior. So antero-posterior projection of the fibers are called as the association fiber. So there are the two type of the association fiber, are the short association fiber and large association fiber. Short association fibers are the fiber which are connected to the adjacent gyrus. So this is the short association fiber which are connecting the adjacent gyrus, and the large association fibers are those which are connecting the more widely separated gyrus. So for some of the example are the uncinate fasciculus, so which is connecting the frontal lobe to the temporal lobe gyrus, and the cingulate fasciculus which is connecting the cingulate gyrus to the interhinal cortex, and the superior longitudinal fasciculus which connect the frontal lobe to the occipital lobe, and next inferior longitudinal fasciculus which connect the occipital lobe to the temporal lobe, and next is the vertical occipital fasciculus which is connect the inferior parietal lobe to the fusiform gyrus, and this is a perpendicular fasciculus. This is a specific fasciculus which is running vertically and which is interconnecting the regions of the parietal lobe, temporal lobe and occipital. So it is about the specific association fibers. Now we move on to our main topic, that is the ascending tract. So we already discussed that ascending tract is nothing but it is a sensory pathway which is convey the sensory information from the lower center to the higher center, which is present within the central nervous system. So whatever the fibers which are the axon fibers are there, which are basically originated from the nuclei, and then after which is terminated in the gray matter nuclei. So in between that, what are the channels and pathway which carry sensory information like the pain, touch, temperature, proprioception related informations are there. So that information, whatever the track, whatever the pathway, convey from the lower center to the higher center. So that track, channels or pathway, that called as ascending tract or sensory tract. So basically each sensory tract or ascending tract is made up of the two or more neurons, or which is connecting the, or which is synapsing in between the pores of the channels and pathway. It has been synapsed or connecting the with two or more three neurons. So that neurons are called as a order neuron. So first order neuron and second order neurons and third order neurons. So normally what is the first order neuron? So first order neurons are the neurons which are present in the dorsal root ganglion. For all the sensory information, that this first order neuron is common, that is the dorsal root ganglion. So normally, whatever the sensation which is received or recognized or detected by the receptor, so that receptor generates the action potential. So that action potential which is conveyed by the efferent fiber. So that efferent fiber before entering into the spinal cord, it must be synapse or relay with the nuclei which are present in the dorsal root ganglion. So ganglion are the collections of the nuclei which are present at the dorsal root. So that in the the nuclei which are present in the dorsal root, they are the pseudo-unipolar neurons. So in the pseudo-unipolar neurons, so whatever the this is the dorsal. So I will expand this image. So sorry. So this is the dorsal root. So this is the dorsal root. So whatever the sensory afferent fibers are there, so before entering into the spinal cord, so they has been synapsed with the dorsal root ganglion. So here this is the dorsal root ganglion. So in which that, so there are the pseudo-unipolar neurons are there. So they have a two process. One is the peripheral process and second is the central process. So peripheral process receive the sensation from the afferent fiber, and the central process that convey the information which is received by the afferent fiber into the spinal cord into the spinal cord gray, that is the dorsal gray horn, via the dorsal root. So in the dorsal root there are the specific neurons are there. So we have already discussed that in the dorsal horn, that is the postmarginal nucleus, and the substituent gelatinous nucleus, and the chief nucleus or nucleus proprius and Clark column nucleus. So these are the nucleus are present. So they are specified for the specific function. So what are, according to the information, so that each specific information is conveyed by the specific nuclei which are present in the dorsal one. So whatever the the dorsal so they are the present in the dorsal one. So what is our concept is the first order neurons. So first order neurons are the neurons which receive the information from the receptor and which convey the information into the spinal cord, basically into the dorsal horn nuclei. So for all the sensory pathways, the first order neuron is the basic common, that is the dorsal root ganglion. Second is second order neuron. So second order neurons are the neurons which are receive the information from the first order neuron and they convey that information to the third order neuron. So for all the sensory pathways, so the second order neuron is present within the dorsal horn, except the fascicular gracilis and fascicular cuneatus. And from the second order neuron, so the pathways or ascending tract is originated. So these nuclei are called as the origination nuclei for the ascending tract. So for all the sensory pathway, second order neuron, so all this ascending tract is originated from this second order neuron which are present within the dorsal horn nucleus. So that may be the postmarginal nucleus or the substituent gelatinous nucleus or chief nucleus or dorsal column. So but we already discussed that there is a two specific ascending tracts are that is fascicular gracilis and fascicular cuneatus, which are not originated from the second order neuron. So they are originated from the first order neuron, that is the that is the dorsal root ganglion. So because they, instead of relying in the dorsal horn ganglion, they directly enter into the dorsal white column, then after they ascend upward, and then after they synapse in the second order neuron which is present in the medulla. So it means that second order neuron is the neuron which receive the sensory information from the dorsal root ganglion, and then after it is conveyed the further order neuron. For all the sensory pathway, second order neuron is present within the dorsal horn except the fascicular gracilis and fascicular cuneatus tract, and all the tract or for all the tracts the second order neuron is act as a origination of the ascending tract except the fascicular gracilis and fascicular cuneatus. And third order neuron which is receive the information from the second order, then after it is project that information into the somatosensory area or parietal lobe. This neuron is present in the pre-cortex subcortical area. So from that subcortical area, so whatever the information is there, it is project into the cortical area. So it is about the basic concept of the first order, second order, and third order moving. So it means that during the course of the formation of the channel and pathway, ascending track must be synapse the relay with the relay in the 2 or 3 neurons. So they are called the first order, second order, and third order neurons. So now we normally, so it means that, so we already discussed that tracks are present within the central nervous system and within the white column, and which is originated and terminate in the gray matter. So white matter, which is in the CNS, present the outside of the spinal cord in the brain, which is present so the gray matter in the spinal cord present in the central area, and white matter which is present outside and in the brain. So the gray matter present outside or supermost layer, and white matter is present in the subcortical area or central portion of the brain. So whatever the tracks are there, the ascending tracks, so normally they are projected from the white matter column. So this white matter in the spinal cord has been categorized or subdivided into the 3 portions. One is the dorsal white column. So this is the dorsal white column, and second is the lateral white column, and next third is the interior or ventral white column. From this column, so different ascending tracks are projected upward, or they are originated from this different segment of the spinal cord. So the tract or the sensory pathway which are originated from the dorsal column, so they are highly specified or signified for the convey the information which are advanced or which are modern. So it means that whatever the information which are needed high velocity to reach this higher center, or which are needed the extreme accuracy for the perception, for the sensation of the, or for the integration of that information, they have to conveyed or projected from the dorsal column or dorsal white column. So for example, whatever the fine touch is there, whatever the stereognosis process is there, whatever the 2-point discrimination process is there, they have to project it from the dorsal column. And the fiber which are emerged from this dorsal column, so they are heavily myelinated fiber. So they have a specific and extreme localization action. And next is the remaining column, that is the lateral column and the ventral column. So the fiber, so the sensation which are not needed the high velocity to reach this higher center, and which for that there is no need to the extreme accuracy. So that sensation has been carried either from the lateral column or ventral column. For example, what are the pain and temperature related information are there, so they has been projected either from the lateral column or ventral column. So they are the pure, moderately myelinated fiber, so they have a poor localization action. So it is about the columns or the projection of the fibers either from the dorsal column, either from the ventral column, and either from the lateral column. And what is the significance of the fiber which are originated, projected from the dorsal column or lateral column or ventral column. Now we discuss about focus most elaborately the specific tracts which are originated from the dorsal column, lateral column, as well as the ventral column. So that first we see the columns or the tracts which are originated from the column, that is the anterior white column. So the the tract which is originated from the anterior white column, that is the anterior spinothalamic tract. So this anterior spinothalamic tract, so basically which convey the crude touch related information and pressure related information. So for this information, the receptor are the Marcus corpusculus and Merkel disc and Meconian corpuscle. So they are the specific receptor and the Pacinian corpuscle. So these are the receptor which is receive the or which is stimuli the according to that sensation or stimulus, and they convey that information through the from the afferent fiber. And for this information, for this tract, first order neuron is the dorsal root ganglion. So from this dorsal root ganglion, so what are the fibers which is emerged? So they enter into the into this dorsal white gray horn through the dorsal root, and in the dorsal gray horn they synapse or connecting the second order neuron, and that second order neuron is nothing but that is the nucleus proprius or chief nucleus. So after synapsing with that second order neuron, so the whatever the fibers which are emerged from this nucleus, they are crossed from the midline to the opposite direction, so that fibers which are cross the opposite direction. So here these are the the sensation. So these are the free nerve, these are the receptors which are convey the information, that is pain and crude touch, which is basic. Eventually they are the synapse, the first order neurons. Then after whatever the central process is there, they enter into the spinal cord. In the spinal cord, so they are synapse in the second order neuron. For the entire spinothalamic tract, the second order neuron is the chief nucleus or nucleus proprius. From that, whatever the fibers which are emerged, which is cross the spinal cord from the midline and enter into the opposite and cross to and enter into the opposite spinal cord segment, that is specifically in the anterior column. So from the after entering into the anterior white column, so it is projected upward, and then after it crossed the all the segments of the spinal cord. So whatever this nuclei which is projected from the second order neuron, which is cross opposite direction, and then after by following the anterior white column, so they ascend upward and cross all the spinal segment, enter into the medulla oblongata and cross the pons, midvein, and eventually they end in the thalamus, the specific nuclei which are present in the thalamus, that is the ventral posterolateral nucleus. So that is the termination nucleus. So in the thalamus, so that in the ventroposterolateral nucleus is there, that is the third order neuron, where this anterior spinothalamic tract is terminated. From that, what are the fibers they are arised, they are projected into the post-central gyrus or parietal lobe. So from after that, we can perceive the crude touch or pressure related information. Crude touch is nothing but it is the non-fine touch which is crudely touched. Whatever the sensation which is crudely touched in our skin, it has been carried by this anterior spinothalamic tract. So that tract which is originated from the nuclei, which is called the chief nucleus or nucleus proprius, and it is terminated into the nuclei that is present in the thalamus, that is ventral posterolateral nucleus, which is present in the thalamus. So it is about the anterior spinothalamic tract, which are responsible for the crude touch and pressure related information. And next is the lateral spinothalamic tract. So lateral spinothalamic tract, so normally in the lateral white column, so different tracts are arises. So they are the lateral spinothalamic tract, ventral spinocerebellar tract, dorsal spinocerebellar tract, spinotractal tract, spinoreticular tract, spinovolvular tract, and spinovestibular. So we will discuss on the tract which are projected from the lateral white column. So first is the lateral spinothalamic tract. Lateral spinothalamic tract is the tract which is specified for the conveying the information that is related to the pain and temperature. So the receptor for this lateral spinothalamic tract, for the pain, that is the free nerve ending, and for the temperature there are two varieties of temperature, there is cold and warmth. Cold is conveyed by the receptor that is processed in the bulb, and the warm sensation which is recognized by the specific receptor, that is the rapine in organs. So from that, what are the apparent fibers is there, which is conveying information, and the first order neuron is the dorsal root ganglion. From that, what are the central processes there? It is enter into the spinal cord through the dorsal root, and then after it is for the pain. So the second order neuron. So normally pain are the two type of the pain. One is the fast pain, second is slow pain. So fast pain is the first sensation, so which is perceived so whenever the first pain stimulus is applied, which is sharp, bright, and localized. And the fast pain is followed by the slow pain, which is the dull, and which is the fluctuated, or which is the diminished strength, or and which is the diffuse, and it is unlocalized, and so that type of the which is unpleasant. So that type of the sensation, pain sensation is called a slow pain sensation. So for the fast pain sensation, second order neuron is the marginal nucleus, and for the slow pain sensation and for the temperature sensation, the second order neuron is the substantia gluteina rolandi. So from that, so what are the axon fibers which are emerged? So they also cross the from this dorsal from spinal cord to opposite side and enter into the lateral white column. So this is the lateral white column. So from the lateral white column, so this tract is ascend upward. That so after originating from the either marginal nucleus or substantia gluteina rolandi, so fibers are crossed the opposite direction. So crossing of this axon fiber in the opposite direction is called decussation. So normally, so it means that so the right body sensations are perceived into the left side of the brain, and left side sensations are perceived by the right side of the brain because of this decussation which is happening either in the spinal cord level or either in the brain level before it is terminating at the center. So due to that, so we have a different areas are there. So for the sensations of the our body per sensation. So what are the from after originating from the second order neuron, the axon fiber ascend upward, so then cross the spinal cord segment and enter, and then after cross the medulla oblongata, pons, and midbrain, and eventually they end in that terminated in the nuclei which are present in the thalamus, that is the ventral posterolateral nucleus. So which are from that what are the fibers are there which is emerged, so they are projected towards the post-central gyrus, that is parietal lobe. So then after we can perceive or we can sense the pain and temperature related information. So lateral spinothalamic tract is signify or specify for the conveying the pain and temperature related information, and anterior spinothalamic tract, which is emerged from the anterior white column, which is specified for the conveying the crude touch and pressure related information. So now next tract is the spinocerebellar tract. So this spinocerebellar tract, which is emerged from the lateral white column. So this ventral spinocerebellar tract is responsible for the conveying the unconscious proprioception related information, and as well as the mediating the reflex action. So the receptor for this ventral spinocerebellar tract are arising from the locomotor system, that is this muscle spindle or Golgi tendon and Pacinius corpuscle. So what is the meaning of the proprioception? So proprioception, we already discussed that. Proprioception is nothing but, so it is the having a knowledge of the relative position of our body and the how much strength or force is applied on that muscle to maintain the specific tone and posture of the body. So this type of the awareness and conscious knowledge is called as a proprioception. So there are the two type of the proprioceptions are here. One is the unconscious, second is the conscious. So conscious means that we have that whatever this information is there, which we are aware, so which are occur in our consciously. And the subconscious or unconscious means that, so whatever this regulation which is occurring or regulated automatic way, so we are not which are not under our conscious level, so that is called unconscious. For example, while the person is cycling, so the way of the movement of the legs, so upward and downward movement to regulate the cycling process properly, so it has been regulated and managed by automatically. We do not have a sense about the how to when and where our legs to move upward, and when to we pull that lift that legs into downward, and how much strength is needed to regulate this movement. So these are not under our awareness or consciousness. They are unconsciously regulated by the system. So that is unconscious proprioception. So normally unconscious proprioceptions are regulated by the cerebellum, and conscious proprioception basically regulated by the cortical level. So now coming on to our tract, that is the ventral spinocerebellar tract. Ventral spinocerebellar tract, which is responsible for the conveying the unconscious proprioception. So already we discussed that receptor for this sensation is either the muscle spindle, Golgi tendon, or Pacinius corpuscle. So this fiber first order neuron is the dorsal root ganglion. Second order neuron is the marginal nucleus in the posterior horn. The neuron from the margin nucleus from the second order neurons. This fiber, then whatever the fiber which are arise from this second order neuron, so they either cross some of the fiber from this, they cross the opposite direction, or some fiber they directly ascend from that segment. So normally, so the fiber from this neuron make the first appearance in the lower lumbar segment of the spinal cord, and from after the origination from the second order neuron, we have discussed some fibers are projected from ascend in the lateral white column, the same side, and from other fibers are ascend through the other spinal segment, that is medulla, and this normally these nerve fibers ascend through other spinal segments, medulla, pons, and midbrain, and finally the fiber reach the cerebellum through the superior cerebellar peduncle. So it means that the terminate, and after that this fibers are terminated in the cortex of the anterior lobe of the cerebellum. So it means that these fibers are originated from the marginal nucleus, then after eventually they terminated in the cortex of the anterior lobe of the cerebellum. Some of the fibers, they are cross the opposite direction at the spinal segment level, and some fibers are ascend from the same segment to reach the cerebellum level. So it is about the ventral spinocerebellar tract, which is also called as the indirect tract. Next is the dorsal spinocerebellar tract. So dorsal spinocerebellar tract is the tract which is also responsible for the conveying the proprioception and reflex related information. So that for this, the first receptors are the muscle spindle, Golgi tendon, Pacinian corpuscle, and first order neuron is the dorsal root ganglion. Second order neuron, that is the Clark column, and from that whatever the axon fibers are there, so they ascend from the same segment and they cross the all the spinal segment, and then spinal cord segment, then reach the medulla oblongata from the same side, and then after midbrain, then after pons and midbrain, and at the midbrain, so from the level of the midbrain, it enter into the cerebellum by approaching the inferior cerebral peduncle, and eventually they terminated in the cortex of the anterior lobe of the cerebellum along with the ventral spinocerebellar tract fiber. So normally the first appearance of this fiber is in the upper lobe segment from the lower lumbar and sacral segments. So the impulse are carried upward by the dorsal nerve root to the upper lumbar segment. So this dorsal spinocerebellar tract are called as a direct tract, which are originated from the Clark column nucleus, and they are eventually terminated in the anterior lobe of the cerebellum. So which are specified for the conveying the proprioception related information. So next tract is the spinotactal tract. So spinotactal tract is specified for the conveying the information or coordinating the spino-visual reflex. It means it is coordinating the head movement according to the body need as a reflex action. So this spinotactal tract, basically the first order neuron for this tract is the dorsal root ganglion, and the second order neuron for this spinotactal tract is in the chief sensory nucleus which is present in the dorsal gray horn. From that, whatever the fibers are originated, and basically this fiber or appearance of these fibers are present in the upper lumbar segment, and this tract is very prominent in the cervical segment mainly. So the tract, after originating from the second order neuron, so that fiber cross to the opposite side to the anterior white commissure to lateral column. Then the fibers ascend to the midbrain along with the anterior spinothalamic tract, and eventually these fibers are end in the superior colliculus of the tactum in midbrain. So the function of this spinotactal tract is to regulate the spino-visual reflex. Next is the spino-reticular tract. So spino-reticular tract is specified for the or concerned with the consciousness, awareness of the body. The spino-reticular tract, the first order neuron is the dorsal root ganglion and second order neuron. So for the spino-reticular tract is non-specified, and normally this spino-reticular tract is situated in the anterolateral white column. The fiber of this tract arise from the anteromediolateral nucleus. So after arising from this anteromedial anteromediolateral nucleus, what are the axon fibers are there? Some of the fibers are cross opposite direction, and some of the fibers without crossing the opposite direction, they ascend from the same segments. So what are the fibers are there? So they after crossing the spinal cord segment, so they arise they reach the the reticular formation system, which is present in the brain stem. So after reaching the brain stem, so they are terminated by the three ways. So some fibers terminated in the nucleus reticulus gigantocellularis and lateral reticulus nucleus of the medulla in the same side. Some fibers terminate in the nuclei present in the opposite side. Some fibers terminate in the nucleus reticularis pontis caudalis of the pons in the same side or opposite side, and some of the fibers terminated in the midbrain. So it is about the course of the spino-reticular tract, which is concerned with the awareness or consciousness of our body. Next is the spino-olivary tract. So spino-olivary tract, which is present in the anterolateral white column, and the spino-olivary tract is responsible for the proprioception related information, and this the origin of these fibers of this tract is not specific, and normally the second order neuron also non-specific. However, the fibers are terminated in the inferior olivary nucleus of the medulla oblongata. From that, whatever the fiber which is emerged, they are projected into the cerebellum. So then after we can perceive we can detect the different proprioception related information. Next is spino-vestibular tract. So spino-vestibular tract, which is situated in the lateral which is situated in the lateral white column of the spinal cord. So the fibers of the tract arise from all the segments of the spinal cord and terminate on the lateral vestibular nucleus. So the tract also concerned with the proprioception related function. So it is about the tract which are emerged or projected from the lateral white column. So now we see or discuss about the tracts which are emerged, the ascending tracts which are emerged or projected from the dorsal white column. So we already discussed that lateral dorsal white column are the specific column. From that, whatever the fiber or tract which is formed, they are specified for the conveying the fine touch related information, proprioception related information, and the stereognosis related information, 2-point discrimination related information. So what is the meaning of the fine touch? So fine touch means that needle touch. So needle touch, whenever any person is touching any place of your body, so the exact localization of that touching is called as a fine touch sensation. And 2-point discrimination, what is the meaning of the 2-point discrimination? 2-point discrimination is nothing but we can recognize the simultaneously applied 2-point touch or sensation over the nearly placed skin by closed eye. So when it means that this ability to discriminate the very closely applied sensation on the skin in closed eye, so we can detect the exact localization of the 2 simultaneously applied touch sensation. So that ability is called as a point discrimination. And stereognosis, what is the meaning of the stereognosis? So stereognosis is nothing but ability to recognize or detect the solid object by touching that object with the close eye. So for example, by the previous experience. So for example, so any elephant object is, whenever you hold any elephant object by touching, with close eye, by touching the consistency and the shape and the size, so we can after the touching the object, by analyzing the shape, size with the touch, so we can come to know that this object is elephant by closing the eye, so which is already by the help of the previous experience. So that type of the sensation is called as a stereognosis. So this type of the sensation basically projected from the white column, the dorsal white column. So there are the specific tracks are there which are basically convey this type of the information. So they are the fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. So the receptor for these tracts are the Mercallis and Meissner's corpuscle. So this first order neuron, so that is the first order neuron is already dorsal root ganglion, and the second order neuron, so normally after, so this tract we already discussed that, so this tract is originated from the first order neurons. So after originating from the first order neuron, so instead of relying into the dorsal white column, so they enter into this dorsal white column. So this is the dorsal white column. So in the dorsal white column, so normally this dorsal white column is divided into the two segments by the dorsal median sulcus. So what are the tract, that is the fasciculus gracilis is there, they projected medial to the dorsal median sulcus, and the next tract, that is the fasciculus cuneatus is there, they projected from lateral to the medial dorsal median sulcus from the upward or upward direction. So this tract is called as a so from this area, from the medially to the dorsal median sulcus, fasciculus gracilis is projected. From the laterally, the fasciculus cuneatus tract is originated. So they are the specified for the conveying the sensory information related to the fine touch, 2-point discrimination and stereognosis related information. So after the projecting from the first order neuron, so they ascend through this dorsal white column, and they cross the spinal segment. So then after they reach the medulla oblongata, and then after it is crossed the pons and the axon of the then after in the medulla, normally whenever it crosses the spinal cord segment, and then after whenever it is reach at the lower medulla oblongata levels, so the axon fibers are they are enter into they are synapsing with the second order neuron in the medulla oblongata, the lower side. So that is specific, that they are called as the nuclei, that is they are called dorsal the nucleus are called as a dorsal nucleus, or they are also specified with nucleus gracilis and nucleus cuneatus. So the whatever the tract, that is fasciculus gracilis is there, so they synapse with the second order neuron, which is the gracilis nucleus gracilis, and the fasciculus cuneatus tract is there, which is synapse with the nucleus cuneatus. So from that, so whatever the fibers are emerges, so that fibers are considers or they form the internal arcuate fibers. So that from the these are the at the medulla oblongata level. So this nucleus gracilis and nucleus cuneatus. So from that whatever the axon the fibers are there, so they are form the internal arcuate fiber. So the internal arcuate fiber from both sides cross the midline, forming the sensory decussation and then ascend through the pons and midbrain, so as medial lemniscus. So whatever these fibers which are emerged from second order neurons, they are cross the opposite direction, and these fibers are called the internal arcuate fibers. So internal arcuate fibers are the fibers which are emerged from the second order neuron of the fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus nucleus. So after this internal arcuate fiber, so which we projected upward through the midbrain, through the pons and midbrain, so in the as a medial lemniscus manner. So medial lemniscus is also called as a real ribbon. So it is a ribbon like structure. So normally, so it is formed by these are the heavily myelinated axon fibers, which is formed by the crossing of the decussation of the internal arcuate fibers, so which are from the medial lemniscus structure. So what are these medial lemniscus structures are there? So the fiber from the medial lemniscus terminate in the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. From here, so this is the thalamus, from where this the third order neuron, that is the ventral posterolateral nucleus, is there. So where this tract is terminated, from that what are the axon fibers are there, so they are projected into the postcentral gyrus, and eventually we come to perceive or come to sense in that some fine touch is there, some when we can recognize the 2-point discrimination, and we can also detect the stereognosis related sensation. So it is about the fasciculus gracilis tract and fasciculus cuneatus tract, and normally the fasciculus gracilis contain the fibers from the lower extremities and lower part of the body, for example from the sacral, lumbar and lower thoracic ganglia of the posterior nerve root, and the fasciculus cuneatus contain the fiber from the upper part of the body, for example from upper thoracic and cervical ganglia of posterior nerve root. So it is about the fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus tracts. Thank you.